strike on it, forces Calendar into a save down to his left. Big save there. Josef Martinez from 25 yards on, tries the curl. Negri trying to flick it through, and it comes to the back post, and it's a debut goal for Serhii Krivtsov. Hits it off the post, Borgelin saved off the line, Borgelin again has scored! Gives Miami the comfortable lead. Inter Miami have won 4 games in a row in all competitions. The ship has been steadied. We're now ready to head to the weekend as Inter Miami take on a difficult side, New England Revolution, towards the top of the Eastern Conference. We welcome you in to the Inter Miami Show. My name is Chris Whittingham. I'm here with the former Arsenal, West Brom, and England defender, Kieran Gibbs, of course, formerly of Inter Miami as well. We'll take a look back at the weekend's game against Atlanta United. A big night for Josef Martinez. Got a couple of academy players starting in the midfield. We'll talk a little bit about the MLS Next Pro side, getting another win over Atlanta United 2, and we'll look ahead to the game against New England on Saturday. But Kieran, another win in the league, another win in the Open Cup as well. Miami are starting to find their form. Yeah, that's a really strong win, Chris.
6 losses on the bounce and 2 back-to-back wins is not easy, and that shows the character of the team. There wasn't a lot in it in the first half. Obviously, Josef comes on and grabs the game by the scruff of the neck. But yeah, I mean, from Miami point of view, it's early signs of, and I stress early signs of back on track.
Yeah, and Josef Martinez, I think, is the no-doubt headline maker from this. So as we get into the highlights of the game from Saturday night, Inter Miami taking on an Atlanta side. They were doing very well in the league and feature a really strong player in that number 10 position, Thiago Almada. And Miami would get this one started actually in the second half. Not a ton to speak for, as you mentioned, Kieran, in the first half. But in the second, Josef Martinez had just come onto the pitch as David Ruiz wins a penalty from the corner.
Yeah, he does really well to get a touch on it. It's his loose touch that actually does him a favour in the end. But he's got the physicality and the speed to get to the first touch, and that's what wins the penalty.
Yeah, header away from the area from Atlanta, but then Ruiz stepping forward and just getting his way onto the ball ahead of Machop Chol, the defender for Atlanta. And then what a moment this is against his former team, Josef Martinez, from the penalty spot against Quentin Westberg, a goalkeeper with whom he has previous, and he finds the corner for his first Inter Miami goal.
Yeah, continues to make it look easy from the spot, Josef, nice and low. You can see the relief after just getting his first goal in the league off the mark, and yeah, he was up and running from there.
Yeah, and Josef, so good from the penalty spot in his time in Major League Soccer. That would be goal number 99 of his MLS career, and 100 was not far away. As we show you now the goal for 2-0. Forward there, in towards DeAndre Yedlin. A nice cut inside of Andrew Gutman, and how about this ball into Josef? Lovely finish, 2-0 Miami.
Brilliant play all round. DeAndre does so well to nick it over the defender and get round the side of him and thread a lovely ball. The timing was great. The run was great from Josef, and he just manages to get a nick on it.
A big turning point towards the end of the game on 84 minutes would be the sending off of Franco Negri. His yellow card changed to a red for a late challenge on Santiago Sosa, and he would have his marching orders.
Yeah, this will be a big blow for Miami, actually, because Negri's been brilliant down the left-hand side, and I don't think it was intentional from him. I just think his momentum got the better of it.
But late on, the drama would be added as Andrew Gutman would get a late goal, but it wouldn't be enough for Atlanta United. That's all they would get after a very nervy second-half stoppage time period. Miami hung on for all 3 points. Here are the thoughts of the manager, Phil Neville.
And another way of winning is with our X factor, which is our spirit and our togetherness and our quality up front, and we're going to defend for our lives. We're going to be really well organised. I think when you come out of a run of not 0-6, I think to play champagne football is impossible. You've got to build confidence and belief again, and that's from everyone. You think about the knocking that our supporters have had in the 0-6. Have they, they probably started to doubt. So we have to rebuild that, and I think with performances like against Columbus, Miami FC, and tonight, it will breed more confidence.
And Kieran, how important would the results be for Inter Miami at this stage? You mentioned earlier how you lose 6 games in a row and then you start to find your form again. What does that do to a dressing room to finally sort of have that winning feeling and you put a few wins together?
Yeah, I think it just settles everything down. It shows the boys that they have the ability to win games. The performances have been there for majority of the games. We've said that over the weeks, and I think now we're just starting to see, sometimes they're riding that little bit of extra luck that sometimes you need. you know, the boys are working really hard every day in training. They're staying focused, they're sticking to the game plan, and slowly but surely you just naturally start to see results take shape, and that's what's happening right now. And it's just how much they can hold on to that and use this to propel them forward.
Let's talk a bit more about Josef Martinez, who gets a couple of goals in that game against Atlanta, against his former team. And from his standpoint, what will it do for his confidence now to get a couple of goals?
Listen, Josef's an undeniable goal scorer. He was born to score goals. You can see it. I mean, what an achievement! 100 goals in the league. It's pretty incredible, really.
Fastest in MLS history.
Right, and you know he's had an injury setback, a difficult knee injury, which isn't hard to come back from. But we're slowly seeing now. I mean, even you can just see there to get a nick on that and wrap it around the keeper and slot it into the bottom corner. Like, you can tell that he's a real player. And I'm sure we're going to see the Martinez that we all know throughout the season.
Es duro decirlo porque mucho tiempo que uno ha llevado tantos palos. Me contenta y creo que era el mejor momento como este para llegar a una cifra que no es muy fácil. Le agradezco de verdad que mucha gente, a mi hijo.
Era un partido también especial para ti, ¿no? Con Atlanta. ¿Qué sentiste en ese momento cuando los balones entraron y bueno, y ese sentimiento agridulce, ¿no?
Muy especial, mucho respeto, mucho cariño, mucho amor y bueno, sobre todo agradecerle a las personas que de verdad que están aquí todos los días con nosotros, a ustedes que han vivido los momentos duros con nosotros también y bueno, agradecerlos.
¿Qué habla esto del trabajo que pone Josef Martinez todos los días, el trabajo silencioso que hace, que la gente solo ve los goles, pero todo lo que haces alrededor de tu vida para lograr estos objetivos y qué es lo próximo para Josef Martinez?
Yo cuando llegué aquí, mi primer objetivo era ayudar a este equipo. Independientemente, obviamente nosotros somos goleadores, somos delanteros y queremos marcar. Esto es el fútbol. Yo me puse contento cuando Leo la otra vez hizo 2 goles, lo mismo lo hace. Esto no es quien haga más gol, quien haga menos. Esto es al final, juegan todos y lo importante es llegar a noviembre, ¿no?
Josef Martinez talking with our team after the win in Spanish, talking about how difficult the run has been without getting a goal, and also talking about how important and significant it was for him to finally get a goal after the birth of his son and how significant that has been for him. But Josef, one part of the game, one other thing we wanted to talk about was the play of the midfield, and particularly the 2 young players that started in the center of the park. We've talked about Benjamin Cremaschi in the past, but David Ruiz gets his first MLS start, wins the penalty, and otherwise did a pretty solid job in that midfield.
Yeah, he had a really strong impact in the game, obviously, with pretty much an assist for getting the penalty. David's got a lot of energy. He's got everything to cope with the demands of this league at such a young age. He's got all of the components to be a top-class player, and it's another sign of Miami producing young players from the academy, and it stresses of how important it is to have that next pro league and preparing the players for this step.
And Kieran, also this weekend, Inter Miami 2 getting another win coming from behind to beat Atlanta United 2. You have the senior team and the 2 sides playing against each other. Miami coming from 2-0 down to win this one late on Federico Higuain side with yet another win and continuing to produce entertaining matches as well. A 3-2 win for Inter Miami 2. At the weekend, as we now get to 3 points to 3 points. Inter Miami taking on New England Revolution this weekend. It's a difficult side towards the top of the Eastern Conference. Let's hear now from Kieran Gibbs on how Miami are going to win this game.
Okay, so the first point this week is to keep Carlos Hill quiet. I think he's their most dangerous player, and we can't allow him time and space. I think the second big point is controlling the flanks. It's going to be a big day for the fullbacks. Obviously, with Negri out, they like to push up wide, and they're strong in wide areas. So whoever steps in for Negri, it's going to be a big day for them. And the third point is holding on to momentum. Use the last few weeks and the last few wins as confidence that the boys can get together wins and hold on to that momentum. And I think that these 3 things will be the most important this weekend.
And Inter Miami taking on a side that are currently top of the Eastern Conference on 24 points from 11 games. Bruce Arena's side will provide a strong challenge to the boys. Actually, on commentary this game alongside Jamie Watson for MLS Season Pass, so be sure to check us out on Saturday night. Until next week, though, this has been the Inter Miami Show. Miami winning 4 in a row. We'll talk to you next week.